What is the 2-minute rule? There are many approaches one can take in order to simplify the process of forming new habits. The simplest solution, though, is to reduce the difficulty of your routines so that they can be accomplished with little effort. The 2-minute rule, which simply states that you should take whatever habit you're attempting to create and scale it down to something that can be completed in 2 minutes or less, is one that I like to advocate to people. For this reason, do yoga 4 times a week becomes take out my yoga mat, and read 30 books a year becomes read 1 page. Other examples include take out my yoga mat and read 1 page. There are times when individuals put up a little bit of resistance to that, because they're like, well, you and I both know that the last thing I actually want to do is roll out my yoga mat, right? I'm aware that I really want to complete the workout. Just getting into the routine of always rolling out my yoga mat is something I'd like to work on. Why? Therefore, would I fall for it if I'm aware that it is a mental trick, and I know that it is a trick? If you think that way, then my advice to you would be to start off with a time limit of no more than 2 minutes at the very most. During the first few weeks, your entire routine consists of putting on your running shoes, walking out the door, locking the door behind you, and then walking back inside. Maybe all that is required of you is to roll out your yoga mat. It might sound weird, but I once had a reader who successfully dropped over 100 pounds. And throughout the first 6 weeks of his weight loss journey, he would only go to the gym for about 5 minutes at a time before leaving. Hence, he would get into his car, drive to the gym, then get out, perform only half of an activity before getting back into his car and driving back home. It seems completely absurd, doesn't it? It's not that you look at the situation and go, well, obviously, this is not going to be the thing that gets this guy in shape. But if you take a step back and look at the big picture, you can see that he was evolving into the kind of person who went to the gym 4 times per week. He was becoming an expert in the skill of seaming. And I think that this is a very profound fact about habits that gets neglected a lot, which is that a habit must be established before it can be enhanced. And I think that this is a really important reality about habits that gets overlooked a lot. Before you can think about optimizing it or growing it from there, it first needs to turn into the norm in your life, the new thing that you consider to be normal. If you don't train yourself to be the kind of person who goes to the gym for 5 minutes, you'll never be able to train yourself to be the kind of person who remains there for 45 minutes, 5 days a week. Thus, I believe that a lot of the time we put a lot of emphasis on discovering the optimal food plan or the ideal exercise regimen. But we are so intent on improving our performance, we don't give ourselves permission to participate in even a minor way. Do something, anything, even if it's only for 5 minutes, 5 push-ups, or 1 phrase you write, so that you may perfect the art of showing up and making it your new normal. And then, if you have become that person, well, then you have a number of alternatives for developing yourself further and getting better from that point on. The 2-minute rule can be applied to a wide variety of habits. Here are a few examples. If you want to read more books, start by reading 1 page each day. If you want to start a meditation practice, start by meditating for 1 minute each day. If you want to drink more water, start by drinking 1 glass of water each morning. If you want to floss your teeth more often, start by flossing just 1 tooth each day. If you want to start a daily exercise habit, start by doing 1 push-up or 1 squat each day. The idea is to make the habit so easy and simple that you can't say no to it. Once you establish the habit and it becomes part of your routine, you can gradually increase the time or effort you put into it. Please consider subscribing to our channel if you have not done so. Thanks, and we'll see you again.